Freya, and today we're going to take you all on a journey into the wonderful world of birds. Today I want to share with you some of these incredible creatures, showing you some of their natural abilities, some learned behaviours, but most importantly talking about ways that we can protect our feathered friends for many more generations to really appreciate and enjoy. Because did you know it is said that the first modern bird evolved over 100 million years ago. And in that time, our birds have gained the ability to adapt to a number of different environments and conditions. So much so that we can find our birds on every single continent on this planet. From the blistering heats of the desert to the frozen snows of Antarctica, and absolutely everywhere else in between. Not only that, today we would like to talk about how our birds are coping around us humans. Because since we first colonised the planet, we have changed many of the natural environments that our birds used to rely upon. Take for example the black cockatoos we have with us in state. Yeah, we are lucky enough to have 2 of the 6 species of black cockatoo here on stage today that you'll find here in Australia. Licorice is our yellowtail. It is her job to head on out and meet a very lucky member of the audience. Right here in front of me, would you like to stand up? Yeah, just stand up. All you need to do is put your left hand out to your body. And she's going to come on out, hopefully say g'day. Stay really still for me. Now, as I mentioned, Licorice is a yellowtail. We also have 2 red-tailed black cockatoos here on stage. But you know what? All 6 species of black cockatoo are listed as either vulnerable, threatened or endangered due to the impacts that we have on their environment. But I am happy to say that it's not bad news for all the birds calling Australia home. That's exactly right. There are plenty of birds out there that are doing extremely well around us humans. In fact, some even thrive in our presence. And do keep an eye out for those today because they like to show up right on showtime auditioning for a spot. You might see some trusty white ibis, some crows, currawongs, noisy miners. If you're lucky, you might even spot a native kookaburra or 2. They do like to hang around up on stage behind me. Actually, we do have a kookaburra today. This is Cucaracha, everyone. Now, believe it or not, he's got a really important job in the show. And it's his job to head out back and get the rest of the birds ready to fly. Are you ready, Cucaracha? You're going to get everyone... Thank you, buddy. Well done. But today we are going to talk about how we can protect and preserve beautiful birds like Barbara, Phoenix and Licorice, and of course Cucaracha, to ensure that they do not fade away to the point of extinction. But you see, despite the fact that we do have dwindling numbers of parrot and cockatoo species here in Australia, we're actually lucky because we are known to be the land of the parrots. In fact, you can see a variety of parrot and cockatoo species out and about on a daily basis, utilising our environment like the hollows we have here on stage. But you know, it's not only our parrot species that utilise these hollows. There are plenty other animals out there that rely on them for survival, like this stunning owl here. This is Gorilla, everyone, and Gorilla is a marst owl. Now, our marst owls belong to the Taito family of owls, and a more familiar Taito owl that you might be more aware of is our barn owl. But the bird you're looking at today is one stealthy predator. So take this moment to observe some of her very impressive features, but also listen. Did you hear any of that? Probably not. Because what you witnessed is the sound of silence. The edges of her feathers are frayed, eliminating all sound as she flies in the still of the night. This is what is known as silent flight. It allows her to stalk her victims while remaining virtually undetected. Not only that, check out that stunning heart-shaped disc face. It acts as a bit like a satellite, allowing her to hone in on her prey. They also have lopsided ears, triangulating that hearing, so they can pinpoint exactly where their prey item might be. They can start hunting their victims without having to have a visual on them. Very impressive. It is in fact said that the pair of marst owls can take down over 2,000 rats and mice yearly. So what you're looking at right here is one fluffy rat trap. But unfortunately, our marst owls aren't doing too well around us humans, and that is because we are chopping down all of their trees. And if you are lucky to spot a marst owl out in the wild, guaranteed it will be in the still of the night, as they are a nocturnal species. But here in Australia, we have some owl species that aren't restricted, so only coming out in the middle of the night, and some of them have caused a stir amongst us humans due to their many vocalisations. In fact, they've created such a stir that it has led to the development of some myths here in Australia. This bird here is this is Chewy, everyone. Chewy is a barking owl, and listen up as he flies nice and low overhead. So while he is on the wing this morning, you can hear that territorial trill, one of about 3 vocalisations this little bird will make. They also bark a little bit like a dog, giving them the name the barking owl. Now this double-noted whoop whoop does change depending on whether it's male or female. But aside from these vocalisations, it is their breeding call that they're most famous for. The high-pitched, blood-curdling squeal of this bird sounds just like a woman screaming out for help. Now, it can be heard throughout the Australian bush in the middle of the night during breeding season. But ladies, you will be interested to know it's only ever the male barking owl that likes to squeal like a girl during the breeding season. That's funny a little bit, don't you think? I thought you were funny. Thanks. Now, aside from that, we also want you to have a look at some of Chewy's features as he sits on the glove. First of all, those striking yellow eyes. Now, they tell us something really interesting about barking owls. And that is that they are a crepuscular species of owl. So what that means is they have the ability to see and hunt just as much in the daytime as they can at night time. Pair that eyesight with those long, sharp talons, and you have yourself one stealthy predator. In fact, this bird is such a powerful predator, they can take down prey items 2 or even 3 times the size of their own body. Maybe something like a sulphur-crested cockatoo. Or even a brush-tailed possum might be the perfect meal for a barking owl. But you see, this bird's eyes is far too large for their belly, so what they do is they only eat the most nutritious part of an animal. And that happens to be everything inside the skull. They'll take down a large prey item, rip its head off at the neck, go through the eye sockets, get to that brain, and carry around that head to feed on later like a pre-packed lunch. Delicious. That was so gross. There were no reactions. No reactions from you guys, but I tell you who did react. The European settlers. In fact, for many, many years, they would come across the headless animals at the base of trees. They would hear the squeals in the middle of the night. It is therefore no wonder this bird here did in fact give rise to the myth of the bunyip here in this country. The bunyip story, though, it only dates back to European settlement. So we're talking just over 200 years. We have other birds here in this country, though, that have connections with humans dating back thousands of years. One group of birds in particular have been hunting alongside the indigenous population of Australia and bushfires for many, many years. Now, our black kites, who are making their way out onto stage, use their talons to catch bugs and insects heading up into the air away from a bushfire. But watch closely today as we demonstrate not only their ability to catch the food, but to pass it into their mouth while still in flight. It's what we call feeding on the wing. They seem to be showing that amazing flight out the back today. What have you done? Not so great for you guys to see a demonstration of our kites. Should we start feeding the crows in the ivory skin? I don't know. Maybe you should start telling some jokes. I'm not very good at telling jokes. Now we do have only 2 kites out here this morning, folks, but if you weren't lucky enough to see some black kites around a bushfire, you're probably looking at about even up to 1,000 surrounding all one area. They are actually taking advantage of the thermals out the back, enjoying any breeze we have here today. Oh, button talons! Here we go. Alright, I've got one last piece of food. Wait for this beautiful girl to swing on back round. our stunning black kites. But moving on from those birds that love their bushfires to those that love their oceans and their waterways. Here in Australia, we are also known for our marine species of bird. Now, some of these birds have quite interesting personalities, and like most of us here in the Gold Coast, we do love the ocean, but unfortunately us humans, we are having a bit of an impact on our water birds, and that is because if you think about it, we are not really the cleanest of animals. This guy here, he loves to steal the show. This is Marlin, everyone, our Australian. Now, pelicans, they are found all across the country, from the cold temperatures down south to the hot, humid temperatures up north. But regardless of where they're from, they all rely on the same floodplains and salt lakes when it comes to breeding. You see, they migrate thousands of kilometres to ancestral breeding grounds. They'll reproduce, raise their young, and when that's all done, there's nothing left to do but to return on home. Now, Marlin, he returns home in style. Take it away, buddy. Strut your stuff. That is 9 kilos of complete sass. That's Marlin, our Australian pelican. A personal favourite of mine. I know you're not supposed to have favourites, but he definitely has got a spot in my heart. But it does sadden me to say that unfortunately, we end up with lots of birds like Marlin through our wildlife hospital. And that is because, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, we don't really hesitate when it comes to throwing our rubbish on the ground, do we? And we don't really think twice about picking it up and put it in the bin. We need to work together, be more aware, and realise that this is not the right thing to do. However, this is the right thing to do. That is Jack, everyone. He is cleaning up my rubbish, showing us exactly how it should be done. He is, in fact, a conservation magpie. Okay, now he's got a great reputation because he does clean up my rubbish, but unfortunately not all magpies do have a good reputation. Put your hand up if you've been spooked by a magpie before. Raise your hands up nice and high. Yes, you poor people. These birds become these black and white missiles of fury during breeding season. And you can see as he flies through the sky today, he is extremely agile, not hesitating to catch those insects using that long, sharp beak of his. Well, that beak also helps them out in the wild when it comes to foraging for bugs and insects in cleared areas like picnic sites and things like that. So what you're witnessing today is a prime example of a bird that has learnt to adapt extremely well around us humans. And as a result, we are completely aware of their presence because when it hits that breeding season, like I mentioned, they do become absolutely terrifying. But let's talk about why they do what they do. They are extremely maternal. They make excellent parents. To really think about it, they are doing what any one of you would do for your own children to ensure that they survive. So if we can remember that, and next time it hits breeding season, maybe try wearing a funky helmet, protect yourself a little bit, and then once breeding season passes, we can get back to living alongside birds like Jack that sing that song we know and love at dawn and dusk. So that was Jack, everyone, teaching us how to clean up our rubbish. And did he do a good job? I think he did an excellent job. And you know, I've been really lucky because today I've gotten to introduce to you a variety of very impressive birds. You've met the elegant kites, the beautiful cockatoos, the very intelligent and cheeky Jack, but we haven't really tapped into anything too powerful. Okay, so I do want to bring out a powerful bird today, but to showcase his skill set, I'm going to need some help. I need a brave, bird-loving volunteer to come up on stage and help me out, okay? So if we have any kids in the audience that love birds, anyone? Do you like birds in the front there? Yeah, do you want to come up and help me? Come on over. Let's give her a round of applause. Come on up, honey. Hello. Hi. You're very cute. What's your name? Daisy. Oh, hello, Daisy. Do you like birds? Yeah, do you feel brave? Yeah? Is this your family in the front here? Daisy, do you want to wave? Wave. See ya. Bye. You're going to help me train this bird. What do you reckon? Does that sound like fun? Excellent. Daisy, so come on over here, honey. Take a seat on the training chair facing the audience, honey. Excellent. Now, what we're actually doing, we're training, I know the miners are out of control here, I saw that. We're actually training this next bird to be a part of the Free Flight Bird Show. So it's really exciting stuff. But we're at the point in the routine where we need to offer this bird a delicious food item. Right? And isn't she the cutest ever? Now, Daisy, what you're going to do
you're going to hold out this hand for me. Can you hold out this hand? I'm going to give you a piece of food for this next bird, okay? Now, Daisy, he is a big bird, but you're very brave. So we're going to do this together. Does that sound fun? Now, Daisy, when you see this big bird, lower that hand. You're going to lower it down nice and low, and they're going to stoop down and snatch that food. Does that sound like fun? Excellent. Now, you've got to stand your ground, because like I mentioned, he is very big, okay? So you're going to stay there, and I'm going to stand over here, Daisy, where it's nice and safe. Now, this next bird's name is Titan, and I'll make sure we don't have any ibis try and hassle you, okay? I think it is time that we release Titan. Get ready for him, Daisy. Where's he coming from? Lower him! Lower him! Well done! Good job, Daisy! Well done! Oh, and he's off stage. He's in the crowd. Well done, Daisy. What do you reckon? Do you think she's done a good job? No, Titan, wrong way. He wants to hang out with the team out the back here. Oh, don't chase the children, Titan. No, guys, he's in the crowd. I'm going to have to... Definitely don't try and feed our bird there. Sorry, ma'am. You might not want to do that. All right, I'm going to have to go. This is a really interactive show. Hey, guys, how you going over on the grass here? I'm just going to round up my bushstone curlew. Now, believe it or not, this bird here is actually one ferocious predator. You might not realise that because he's quite cute and little, but out in the wild he takes insects and reptiles, taking them down like one big, powerful predator. And as you can see, Daisy has trained this bushstone curlew so well that he is now completely interacting with the audience. Go, Daisy, you've made my job so much easier. Titan, it's a 15-minute. Oh, and you've got to go hang out with the volunteers. Can we try? All right. This is just a really fun day in the office. Oh, you're free, Titan. Well done. There you go, guys. Oh, he's found some guys he likes over here. Come on in, Titan. I don't know what you think when you can't hang out with our guests. I know you'd like to. Oh, and we have got Titan's trainer, Claudette, who had one job. There we go! Woohoo! And Titan, well done! How cool was that? What an adventure! Never seen before, guys. You have had the all-exclusive experience of watching two staff members round up a bushstone curlew. Let's give Claudette a big round of applause. Well done. Thank you, Claudette. All right, well, that was quite eventful. And clearly not the big, powerful bird that any of us were really expecting. But Titan did a great job of saying hello to everyone in the audience. And of course, Daisy did a wonderful job of training him. Thank you again, Daisy. You did such a good job. But I do want to, on a more serious note, I do want to say to you that throughout history and across Earth, us humans, we've actually always had a love-hate relationship with large predators. Titan may not have been that large predator. However, here in Australia, we do have some that have taken to the sky. We definitely don't have any lions, tigers or bears, but this one that I want to introduce you to is majestic and has a way of flight. But unfortunately, people like you and I were paid to hunt and to kill this bird of prey. We shot them, we trapped them, we poisoned them, wiping out more than 1 million individuals in just under 50 years' time. And I'm talking about the wedge-tailed eagle. This is Mercedes, everyone. Our stunning wedge-tailed eagle who's going to fly nice and low over your heads here this morning. wedge-shaped tail. It is no wonder that this bird here is known as the one that rules the Australian sky. Ladies and gentlemen, Mercedes, our wedge-tailed eagle. And how spectacular. Now it's sad to think that we were the reason as to why that bird there was almost brought to the point of extinction. You see, they were persecuted and accused of being these evil livestock killers, when in fact, they're actually really lazy hunters. You see, they feed on carrion, bodies of roadkill, and not only that, have played a very important role in maintaining those feral hare and rabbit populations we find here in Australia. So you could say that that bird there, that species, has done more for us, more for our environment than we have ever done for them. And speaking of environments, you may not know this, but every single minute, every single day, 100 acres of rainforest is being chopped down. That is about the size of 20 football fields a minute. Habitat destruction is having such a negative impact on our wildlife here in Australia, impacting birds like squirt here, our major cockatoos, birds like ivy, our long-billed corellas, our galahs, our sulphur-crested cockatoos. The list goes on and on. But I'll tell you what, it's not only happening here in Australia, because it's reaching across and impacting birds like big bird here, a very stunning green-winged macaw all the way from South America. Because you see, every house we build, every car we drive, every piece of rubbish we throw away is impacting our environment in one way or another. But there are some pretty small and simple things that we can actually do together to help protect and preserve birds like brain, birds like big bird, birds like squirt and ivy. Simple things like plant a native tree, install a nest box, recycle, conserve water. Even just by reducing the use of plastic bags, we can make a significant change for our future. And you know what? Just by walking through our front gates, you have already done so much for the conservation of Australian wildlife. Because your donations go straight back into the sanctuary, into upgrading and improving our facilities and our enclosures, into allowing us to continue our current conservation and breeding programs, and we have 22 of them in total. But most importantly, allowing us to keep our wildlife hospital doors open. And last year we received over 9,000 sick and injured animals that all required treatment to be released back into the wild. So what we want to do is we want to thank you. And the best way we know how is by getting you up close to some of our feathered friends. So you can actually meet our stunning barking owl that flew nice and low over your heads here today, up at the wooden photo booth just on the hill there. Stand eye to eye, shoulder to shoulder, have that photograph taken, and you're more than welcome to purchase that photo if you like as you exit the sanctuary this afternoon for Nature's Gift. But you can actually go one step further. Experience what it's like to be a raptor handler. Follow Claudette and Rex down to Wild Experiences. We can hold that wedge-tailed eagle on the glove, have your photograph taken, a wonderful encounter for the low cost of $20. Such an incredible experience. Well guys, it does bring our free flight brochure to a close here this morning. On behalf of myself, the entire team, and our feathered friends, thank you for being a wonderful crowd and hope to see you again in the future. Thanks so much, everyone.
That my face.